Hey y'all. So today, honestly, I have struggled today with what to talk about. There's been so much that happened over the weekend that I wanted to recap on and discuss, and I just couldn't quite put it all into words and figure out a theme and keep it short and sweet. So you know what? I thought I would just wing it and touch on a bunch of different things that happened over the weekend. So I had the event, which was super successful, which was the grocery shopping tour, the restaurant ordering class. We went and ate, and we did a little workout. That went awesome. And one of the things that came up during that time together was one of the girls said, I am trying to, what do you want me to do from here out? I'm trying to change everything. I've not been exercising forever and ever. I have not been eating right. I just feel lost and overwhelmed, and honestly, like I'm too far gone. And I said, well, too far gone in what way? And of course, you know, that opened up a whole slew of emotions, and as it always does. And she just felt like she was so far off her goal weight. She'd gained so much weight that it was just hopeless, that there was really nothing she could do. She was just kind of treading water, wasting her time, trying all these different things. Nothing seemed to stick and nothing seemed to work. And she's just frustrated. And this is just how life is now going to be. She's in her 60s, aging closer and closer to 70, and felt like she was destined to weigh over 100 pounds more than she felt like she should. And that was just the way she was going to have to get used to it. And I just, of course, first said, well, what exactly do you want to do? And of course, everything. You know, we did the grocery shopping tour, which helped tremendously, in the restaurant ordering. And she wanted to do nutrition classes and workouts and just do the whole entire package. And I said, you know what? Let's focus on what you've learned and accomplished today. Hey, Chris. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. So, you know, we learned how to shop. We learned how to read food labels. We learned how to let the grocery store do all the hard work for us, so we're not chopping and cooking and trying to meal plan and all this kind of stuff. We also let the restaurant do the hard work for us too, because let's face it, you know, she was eating out all the time. There's just 2 of them at the house now, and she said, you know, it's just too hard to cook for 2 people, and I just don't know what to fix, and it's just really overwhelming, and it makes me anxious. And I said, well, then let's order out. Let's teach you how to order properly, and then we can overhaul your nutrition at some point, you know, but let's make some small minor changes. Work on that, get moving. You don't have to join my fitness classes or train with me personally at first, especially if you haven't really been doing anything anyway. I actually kind of discourage people from doing that because it's just too much. You can't overhaul your whole entire life tomorrow. And so pick 1 or 2 things that you're going to work on over the next week or 2. And then we will visit again and we'll see kind of how it's going and come up with a plan of action that way, so that you're best using your time. You don't get burned out, overwhelmed, too much information. You know, the motivation and the willpower and the excitement's there, and we want to keep feeding that. So I guess really today what I wanted to talk about was my most successful clients, and whether they're my clients or not, the most successful people, and really in anything. It doesn't even have to be fitness or weight loss or sports, whatever. It doesn't have to be exercise or health related. It could be in any area. Are the ones who, number 1, pick a program, a lifestyle program that they can do and that they will do, that's not so restrictive that they're setting themselves up for failure. So a lot of people are on a really popular fad diet, which I thought was super funny. I got a lot of inquiries at the grocery store if I was teaching this fad diet, which I was not. But a lot of people are on this fad diet right now, which is great. You know, try it out, see if that works for you. That's one way to find out what works for you and what doesn't. But it's so restrictive that the longevity of it is just not very realistic. And so the number 1 thing is to find something that is going to work for you, your lifestyle, your goals, your family, because let's face it, I don't want to be eating one thing and everybody else is eating something else. I want to partake in what's going on as well, and not make 14 different meals, or, you know, not be able to feel like I can't go out with everybody and eat or whatever, or I have to just sit back and watch everybody else eat and take my own food or what have you, which I have done before, and that's miserable. So I like to teach people how to live life and be involved in everything else and make healthy choices and understand what that means and how to do that in any situation. That's a lifestyle change, but pick something that's going to work for you. And the other thing is be consistent. So I see all the time these people who hop from thing to thing to thing to thing, whether it's an exercise program, whether it's a diet, whether it's a supplement, whether it's just a lifestyle, whatever it happens to be. They never really give it enough time to work. That's 2 weeks max, and then they're on to the next one, or they're constantly letting other people and what other people are doing distract them and drag them away from what they're trying right then. And I understand that it's very frustrating if you don't have the knowledge and the education to be able to decipher between the fad diets, the ones that are legit, the ones that are realistic, the ones that, you know, are actually healthful, and not jump on the magic pill one size fits all bandwagon. And that's something that I can definitely help you sort through. Whether you choose to do one of my programs or not, we can schedule a coaching call, and I am happy to answer your questions and give you feedback and give you tools so that you can decipher what these programs are and make an educated decision about your health, your body, what your nutrition and exercise program should look like for you personally. And that's because that's different for everybody. Just because it works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for you, and it doesn't mean necessarily that it's really working for them. It's just short term, and we can just talk about that. But you know, my website's a link to contacting me is in the description, wherever that happens to be, up, sideways, down. I don't know where that ends up being. But you can contact me through there, and we can set up a coaching call and discuss that and get you on a path that's going to work for you. But number one thing, guys, be consistent. So one small consistent change is going to get you a whole lot further than just this overhaul of your life that's only going to really last for a week or two. Okay. The people who work out with me and do training with me and they show up all the time consistently are going to get a lot better results than that person who shows up once a week. And so, you know, they may be giving me 110%, but it's just once a week. It's just not going to really turn into anything beneficial for them. They're just going to stay sore, exhausted, frustrated. It's just kind of a glitch in their schedule. It's not a habit and a routine and part of their lifestyle schedule. So that's very important, guys, that you pick something that you can do that's realistic and be consistent at it. And set small, realistic, consistent goals in the beginning. I know right at first we're excited. We're ready to make a change. We've decided, I've had enough. I'm going to do it. Because I still do this. I did it this week myself. And it's it's very easy to fall right back into that mindset. Where, okay, I'm going to get it together. This is the week I'm getting it together, and I'm going to not eat sugar, and I'm not going to eat bread or cheese or whatever it is you're not going to do instead of what you're going to do. And I'm going to work out 4 times a day and drink all this water, and I'm going to go to bed 2 hours earlier. And you're just like, yeah, it's just not going to happen. And then we've got the holiday on Monday, and you know you're going to blow it. So make one thing. Pick 1 or 2 things that are realistic that you can do. If you haven't been exercising, don't say you're going to exercise at lunch and in the evening, or in the morning and at lunch, or every day, because you're really probably not going to do it, right? So say I'm going to exercise 3 days this week for 30 minutes. And then in a week or 2, add another day and focus on that. And if you feel like exercise isn't really what you want to focus on, you want to focus on the nutrition, great. Holler at me. I can set you up, or pick a plan, whatever, and just say, I'm going to do this part. That's it. I'm going to cook one meal at home. We're going to eat out one less time every day this week, you know, or something like that, and make it doable for yourself so that you can be consistent, so that can become a new habit. Change is hard enough. There's a learning curve to everything, especially in health, and it's hard enough to educate yourself and learn a new skill or technique or habit and make a change without making it 40,000 times harder than it has to be. And I know I'm the queen of make everything harder than it needs to be. That is, I don't know if it's a personality trait or if that's just human nature, but we tend to do that, don't we? And so if you want to just make sure that you fail and fall off the wagon, make everything harder. Another fun little story, I won't call him out by name, although I probably should, and he could totally take it if I did, but I won't. At church, one of my good friends said, hey, I'm doing intermittent fasting, and it's really, really hard, and it works, but yeah. And I said, well, how are you doing intermittent fasting? And he said, well, I'm eating everything in 2 hours. And I was like, what do you mean? And he said, well, within a 2-hour span, he eats all of his calories, and then he doesn't eat again. That's it until the next day. I didn't ask details because I was just said, well, that's just stupid, and we kind of went from there. But you know, for instance, from 1 to 3, that's when he eats, and he doesn't eat the rest of the day. And I'm like, well, holy cow, you can't do that. That's not intermittent fasting. I said, where did you get that? And of course, you know, YouTube, because that's where we get everything. And I said, well, number one, I practice intermittent fasting, as do my clients, and there's a specific way to do that. And I totally outline that in my book. So if you want to know, get the book, Fitness Food Faith. You can still order it. It's on Amazon if you haven't already, but that's explained out in intermittent fasting. Or again, contact me. We'll discuss intermittent fasting. It's a great tool. It's life-changing. It's very healing. It's great for weight loss and metabolism, but only if you do it properly. Otherwise, you are a miserable human, and really you're kind of setting yourself up for a big old failure. So do intermittent fasting, but you know, don't make it harder than it has to be. There's no way you should only eat for 2 hours a day and get all those calories. You're going to jack up your digestion system. You're going to jack up your metabolism. You're going to be the mean person at work, right? And the mean person at home because you're hungry, man. So learn how to do things properly. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Don't try to incorporate, if you're doing a program now and it's, you know, a step-by-step program, don't jump ahead. Work the program. If you don't know, if you tried everything and you're frustrated and you're lost and you're confused and ready to quit, holler at me, and we can make sure that that is the right program for you, number one, and number two, what you can do to make it work for you, and number three, if it's not, then I can direct you into one of my programs or something, give you some guidance there and help you along the way. But guys, hopefully that speaks to you today. A lot of times what I talk about is something that I'm struggling with currently at the moment as well. So for me, you know, it's with business, and so I am trying to do 4,000 projects, and prioritizing those has been a little tricky, and so I've gotten frustrated, and I thought, well, that's a good word. And then all this weekend with the nutrition and clients and the event and those questions that popped up, I thought, well, maybe there's other people out there who are struggling and would like some little insight and some answers to that too. So if you want to schedule a grocery store tour and learn how to let the grocery store do all the hard work and meal plan for you and use the grocery store to your benefit and answer those questions, schedule that with me. Same with restaurant ordering. If you want to know how to eat out the whole time, you don't necessarily have to cook every meal at home or any meals at home. I know, it's mind-blowing. You know, then sign up for that class with me, and I'm happy to help you guys on your way to health, right? So please leave your comments, please leave your questions. You can message me on Facebook, you can contact me on that link in the description, wherever that is. And I hope y'all have an awesome, wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.